Like a lot of you watching, I love building. I've decided to take it one step further and make a long-term hardcore world to really challenge myself. My goal is to create a massive fantasy world with castles spread out throughout the land and crop fields as far as the eye can see. So, will you join me on this adventure? Yo, what's going on, guys? I just spawned into the world and I'm going to start getting that wood cut and get this world started up. Okay, let's quickly go get some stone. Let's get our first pickaxe that won't break in 2 seconds. Let's also get the very first rug leg axe of the series so we can start chopping down some trees. Let's go, finally a cave. Alright, let's get some iron. Oh no, I don't have any food. So I might have forgotten to get a bed during the daytime. So the next 10 minutes of my life, I will be staying in this nice little cave. Finally, it's the morning. So now we can go look for some food. Meat. Oh my god, meat. Oh my god, it's been so long, meat. Oh my god. After I finally found some food, I started looking for nicer areas in the biome to start building. And after walking over the small hill, I saw where I wanted to start building. Now that we've found home, there's one last step we have to do before we can start building, and that's to find diamonds. So I went strip mining, and I was able to find 29 diamonds in about an hour. It's pretty solid. Take a look at all the blocks we found. But before we can start building with them, let's use all these diamonds to make our first set of armor and tools. After getting diamond armor, I decided to stay up all night in order to get more XP so I could enchant some of my tools. Oh my god, this skeleton. Can you please stop shooting me? Please, I beg. Oh yeah, that'll do. That's what we like to see. Alright, what's up guys? So, I finished getting all the materials that I think I need for the first house that we're going to build in the series. You've seen all the deep slate I've gathered through strip mining. I also got a ton of wood. I was able to find a jungle, and I also got a bunch of spruce logs. And yeah, I'm thinking that we start with a starter house facing the river on this side. I want to make a nice little river's edge to start out, but the general plan for this episode is I want to make a village on this island. I'm not sure how far I'll get, but that's the general plan. And I also want to make a mainland with a bunch of crop fields as far as the eye can see. And I want to make a castle on top of this hill. But let's start small, right? So I'm going to start planning out the starter house, and I'll come back with you guys when I have a general plan of what I'm doing. So I've done a little bit of planning, and what I'm thinking is just a simple house to start. I want the outline to just be a rectangular base. So let's get a rectangular base in place. I think I want some type of entrance So we're going to do a little jut out for a doorway, and that'll break up the roof whenever that comes in. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this side of the river's edge right now. The land's a little bit too high right underneath the starter base layout, and then it kind of tapers off and gets a little bit too small. So what I'm planning on doing is touching up this river's edge before I start building the starter house itself, just so I have it on the right plot of land moving forward for the rest of the village. I think I have a general idea of what I want to do going forward, so hopefully Rugleg of the future is able to make a magnificent build. And with that being said, let's cue our first time lapse of the series. Welcome back, guys. I just finished making the starter house and I'm pretty happy with it. I still have a few tweaks I want to make. I want to add a chimney and I want to add a couple of dormers facing the river's edge, because the main goal is to have a beautiful sightline from the river's edge of a small little village after this first episode. So I've started creating a couple outlines of other buildings I want to make in the village. I want to make a storage room, I want to make just general housing for some villagers, so we're going to have some normal looking houses. And then I also, in this episode specifically, I want to make a water mill with a water wheel in the water, obviously, in that river's edge sightline, so it can be even more beautiful and unique. So yeah, that's the general plan, and I think I'm going to start making the general structure outline of the water mill first, and I'll keep you guys updated. So, Rugleg of the past did indeed not keep his audience updated. As you can see, he is currently building the watermill that he said he would bring you through step by step. Post-production Rugleg is trying his best to salvage the footage that has been made. So this is how the watermill turned out, and I'm pretty happy with it. I added some final tweaks to the starter house, where I added a chimney and a dormer, and then I also tidied up the river's edge around the house and the watermill. I also created a little villager's house right behind the watermill that was shown in the time lapse. There's not much of an interior yet, but the plan is to make this building a super smelter. I also added a cute little balcony to this house, so that there was a nice view of the town square. I've been building a lot off camera, as you can see, and because of that, my tools are absolutely cooked, and the only solution I can think of is to go get some villagers, unless I want to repair my tools with diamonds, which I'm probably going to have to do anyways. But I say we go get some villagers, or at least start looking for some right now, so that I can hopefully keep building without having to go mining again. Okay, we finally found a village with villagers in the village. Oh god, I'm so funny. Villager number 1 and villager number 2. So now that our first couple villagers are settled into our starter house, I'm going to need to get some carrots so I can start breeding them together, because I want to get a ton of villagers to eventually make a villager trading hall. So I'm going to need to plant a crop field. So here's time-lapse number 3. So now we have our first farmable food source in our hardcore world. But as Monkey D. Luffy said in 1961 during the inaugural address, The secret to a fulfilling life is to eat meat in your hardcore world. I mean, I think that's what he said, right? I'm not like misremembering. Meat food sources. Something that is essential in order to survive for a long period of time in your hardcore world. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we're gonna need to save that for episode 2. So why I included this segment in the video, I have no clue. But while we're on this bizarre little tangent, if you're enjoying this video, please consider dropping a like and maybe even subscribing to the channel. This has taken me over 50 hours of IRL work to complete, and I want to continue to make great content for you guys. Thank you for the support, and let's continue on with the video. With that being said, my starter house is a bit unique, and I think I want to make a dedicated storage room because this really is not cutting it anymore. So what I'm thinking for this storage house is I wanted to make up part of the square of this village as soon as you walk in through a future bridge that will be made. So let me get the base structure down. So I'm really liking the layout of this structure so far. It's got a nice little jut out that I'm thinking I'm going to use as a staircase to the second floor of this storage room. So I'm running into a bit of a predicament here because I've got a feeling I'm going to end up combining a bunch of buildings right next to one another where there's no pathways in between them at all, because I really want to encapsulate a town square upon entrance into the village, because I'm planning on making a bridge right to the left of this structure. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but you'll see soon in the time lapse. Alright, Rugleg of the future, go work your magic, buddy. As the fog is growing thicker, the village is only getting larger. I'm so happy how this came out, guys. As you walk down this pathway towards the town square, it really opens up and just sets a beautiful atmosphere for you. I need to work on this well still and whatever is the centerpiece of the town square, but I'm pretty happy with how this came out. There's also a bridge that I included in the time lapse, and I finally don't have to swim every time I want to get back to the mainland, which is pretty nice. And here's the river's edge. It looks pretty good. The village is looking like pretty crowded and lively, and I'm just so happy with it so far. So look at this. I have a nice little ladder that goes up to a dormer on the second floor, which doesn't really have an interior actually, but this balcony looking over the town square is just so nice. Now going back down into the storage room, I was able to sort out all my items and just kill a bunch of cows to get item frames so I could label all my chests so I could organize my items appropriately. And yeah, I think this is a good enough storage system for me until maybe like episode 3 or 4 when I start to really go crazy with some mega builds. But for now, this is really going to do the trick for a while, so I'm happy with it. I also added a little market stall on the edge of this house with a mangrove roof. By the way, I know it's pretty simple, but it really completes the look of entrance into a village as soon as you walk over the bridge. So I like what I did with it. But of course, no interior. You can't expect that much from me, guys. I can only make like one interior in a video. Now I'm running short of time on this video, so let's go to our final building time lapse of this first episode, where I'm able to give this cute little guy a home finally. Drop some name ideas in the comments. that's going to wrap up our episode for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm here to stay, so stay tuned for episode 2.